Hey, hello, my friend. I pray that this finds you well. Today, I want to share with you a little bit about encouragement. I don't know about you, but I find that I need and appreciate encouragement. Now, the nature of my calling sees me in a lot of public positions and places, whether I'm speaking, sharing music, leading worship, you name it. And while I do not do it for validation and affirmation, I cannot tell you how encouraging it is when somebody just comes and maybe pats me on the back and says, "Hey, I really appreciated what you did," or "You are doing a great job." It just does a lot to help me feel like I am making a difference. Now, you may not be in the public scene like that, but I bet you too appreciate encouragement. For example, for those of you that may post a picture on Facebook, that's the reason you come back to it, to see if anybody liked it or anybody commented. That's the reason why when you cook a meal for your family, it kind of feels nice when somebody says, "Hey, thank you for making a meal," or comments and says, "Hey, this food is awesome." We all appreciate being appreciated. Now, I post this to challenge you on two levels. Could you be a voice of encouragement for someone? And you don't have to go far. Maybe it's with your spouse. Sometimes it's easy to get critical, but what about finding the one or two or three things that they do really, really well and just encouraging them? Maybe be their biggest cheerleader the next time they show up with an idea or with a vision. Be the one that supports them. Maybe it's with your kids when they bring home that report card or at their sports events or recitals. Could you be their biggest cheerleader? Then, number two, how could you put yourself in environments that encourage you? Listen, we live in a world that can be very, very negative. And there are so many dreams and ideas that have been buried because people that did not know any better either did not affirm somebody or did not, or maybe even shut down an idea that was presented. How could you position yourself in environments, in tribes, if you will, of people that celebrate you and that encourage you? And then finally, listen. Sometimes we find ourselves in situations when you cannot hear a voice of encouragement. That's the time when it's so important to learn how to encourage yourself, to remind yourself that you are worthy, and to still your voice enough to hear the voice of the one that is always cheering us on and encouraging us. Listen, sometimes God gets a bad rap and we think that he's this guy with a stick who's trying to knock us down and criticize us, but quite the contrary. He's the one that created us in his image. He's the one that looks at you and says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. He's the one that looks at you and says, "I know the plans that I have for you, not to hurt you, but to give you a hope and a future." I mean, after all, is he not the one that put the dream and the vision and the ideas in you? Is he not the one that gave you your gifts and your skills? Listen, he is your biggest cheerleader. And if you will listen closely, you will hear him say, "You got this, son. I believe you can do it. You got this, my daughter." So, hey, be encouraged and be an encouragement to somebody today. God bless.